6:34. Good morning. It's about this time on Wednesday mornings we present Ask the Lawyer with Bruce L. Scheiner. Maybe today's the day you get your question answered. We're about to find out for sure as Bruce offers his 50 years of wisdom to help us understand some of the intricacies of the law. Now, if you'd like to submit a question for future consideration, I'm going to go about that here in just a second as well. But first, please help me welcome Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. Good morning, Bruce.
Hey, good morning, Todd. How you doing this beautiful morning?
Excellent, and it is a beautiful looking start to the day, isn't it? It
is. It's a beautiful Southwest Florida morning.
This is also, I want everybody to know, one of the most positive people on the planet. Never once in all the 10 years we've been talking with each other on this radio program have I heard you say, well, today's not such a good day. You just never say it.
Well, you got two choices, the cup's half full or the cup's half empty. My cup's always half full.
You are definitely a half full kind of a guy. Well, let's see if you can share some of that half full wisdom and maybe make somebody else feel better about their situation. We have another problem in email form I'd like to share with you and get your feedback on.
I'm ready.
Okay, here's what we have today. It says, my 17-year-old nephew was a victim of a hit-and-run accident while riding his new motorcycle on Tamiami Trail. He's been in the hospital with severe injuries, and the doctors say he may need multiple surgeries. My brother, his dad, has 3 vehicles, all with full insurance coverage, including uninsurance coverage. I think he means uninsured coverage. Anyway, but his son failed to get insurance on his new motorcycle. My brother doesn't have a lot of money, and he's worried about the medical bills. Can you ask the lawyer if there is anything he can do? So, you being the biker's lawyer, Bruce, we knew this would be right up your alley.
Well, it's a very, very interesting question, and most people don't realize the answer. Mm-hmm. And the answer is this. Even though he had no insurance on his motorcycle, if that full coverage with uninsured motorists includes stacking uninsured motorists, it would apply to the motorcycle. The difference between stacking and non-stacking is the difference between night and day, because when it's non-stacking, it only applies to the vehicle that you're in at the time of the accident.
Okay.
Stacking applies to all vehicles you own, even if you're on someone else's vehicle or you borrow your friend's motorcycle. Stacking applies, and stacking will certainly make this person a lot better financially.
So, for example, he has 3 vehicles. If he has stacking coverage and it's $100,000 per vehicle, that would be $300,000 worth of coverage.
Exactly.
That could go a long way towards helping him get healed and back to normal.
It sure can, and that's why it's so important, and we talk about it all the time.
Yeah,
you need to purchase stacking uninsured motorist coverage.
So really, as they say, the devil's in the details, and what is going to be important here is to find out what kind of stacking coverage, or for that matter, non-stacking coverage he might have, and then you can kind of go from there.
Exactly. If it's non-stacking, it won't help him on his motorcycle.
Right.
But if it's stacking, even though he had no insurance on his motorcycle, it would help him and apply to that accident, and he would have coverage.
Something that surprised me, and I found this out a few years ago when we had our weekly conversations, is I don't believe still you have to have insurance on a motorcycle, do you?
You don't have to have any insurance on a motorcycle. And again, if you have a motorcycle or if you have a ride on a motorcycle, you want to make sure any vehicle you own, you have stacking uninsured motorist coverage.
And I'm glad that you said that, because what I was about to do next is say, if you're not sure what kind of coverage you have, and it can get complicated. As a lay person, I don't understand it. You can always call the office of Bruce L. Scheiner and find out if you've got what you need to be safe, right?
Absolutely. I welcome anyone and everyone to call me and go over their insurance coverages, and I'll help them and give them the benefit of my 50 years experience.
Sometimes it's better to figure that kind of thing out in advance before you need it. So I'll give the number out in just a second here for the Port Charlotte office. We'll make sure everybody gets that. I don't want to keep you any longer than necessary, Bruce. Thank you once again for the great information.
Oh, my pleasure, Todd. And I hope everybody enjoys a happy and safe 4th of July.
Oh, most definitely. And we look forward to talking to you again next week.
Thank you. Take care, Todd.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. Now, if you'd like to submit a question for future consideration, all you have to do is go to our website and put the keyword Bruce in the search box. That'll take you to the right place. And like I said a moment ago, if you'd like to call and ask about your insurance coverage, make sure that you've got what you need. Or if you are injured and need some help, call the Office of Associates and Bruce L. Scheiner in Port Charlotte at 941-743-7777. 941-743-7777. Tell them that Todd sent you from Kicks Country 92.9.